Alright guys, welcome back to Fog Racing, the home of Formula 1, the home of all racing in general, but let's be honest, if it's not Formula 1, it is second best. And we're back today with F1 Manager 2022. So as you know, this is a co-op channel. We have a co-op F1 Manager 2022 series going. My brother has also got his own solo Ferrari series going, so he's decided to go a front runner. So therefore I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own F1 Manager 2022 series, but I'm going to do it a bit different. I'm going to go a team that is towards the back of the grid, rather than pick someone who's in the front or someone who's competing for wins, or even pick a team that's in the midfield looking to get points finishes in the odd podium. I've decided to do something different. It's going to be a more like a road to glory series, or maybe even a return to glory series, because the team that I'm picking is Williams. Yes, Williams Racing. When I say bring Williams back to their glory days, for me, since watching F1, the glory days for Williams was probably around like the early 2000s, when they had Montoya, they had Ralf Schumacher, and they were getting wins. You know, there was a season they came close to winning the title. I believe it was 2003. Montoya came really close that season, but on their day, Montoya and Ralf Schumacher really could take it to Ferrari and could challenge for wins. Now, I know Williams have a massive history. You know, they've had some dominant cars, they've won some championships with ease, but I wasn't alive during that era, so that doesn't really feel, to me, that doesn't feel like Williams' glory days. To me, Williams' glory days, like I said, is the early 2000s, and that's kind of where I want to try and take this team. The only difference is, unlike Williams back in the early 2000s, where they were challenging Ferrari, they couldn't beat Ferrari. This time around, I want to try and eventually take Williams back to the top where I believe they belong. So obviously we know the team name is Williams. Team rating is just over 2 stars. The season objective is 9th. Now that's going to be a bit optimistic, but at the same time I understand it. I mean, let's be honest, there's only 10 cars on the grid. It would be very negative to have the season objective be 10th. You know, no one wants to finish dead last, so I think them asking us to finish one position higher than last, I think that's fair. Now, I know it's going to be difficult to do, but I don't think we'll be that far behind Aston Martin, to be honest, and maybe Haas as well. Maybe we can try and close down Haas. We'll look at the car comparisons in a minute. Long-term objective is to beat points contenders. Like I said, that is fine, but for me, my long-term objective is to get Williams winning races and to get them fighting for championships. So obviously, that means there's a lot less pressure on me because the team are not expecting that, but I do think that's what we should be aiming for within, you know, the course of this series. Is it going to happen in Season 1? No, definitely not. Season 2? No. Season 3? Probably not. But I think by the end of the series, I do want us to get there. So that's what we're going to be trying to be. Board budget is low, so I don't know how much money that is, but it is pretty low. Let's look at the performances now. Car performance is 10th, so we've got the worst car on the grid. That's fair enough. I'm not really surprised by that. Driver performance, we are 9th. So there is one driver pairing that the game rates worse than our driver pairing, which is pretty strange. I thought we would have been last. Staff were 9th and headquarters were 7th. So you can see last, second last, 7th. It's not great. You can understand why we are overall the worst team in the first season. Obviously, my goal is to prevent us from being the worst team, but at the moment, let's be real, we are where we are. We are dead last. Now, based on the drivers, we'll have a quick look at them. Obviously, car number 1, we've got Nicholas Latifi. Car number 2, we've got Alexander Albon, and then we've got the reserve driver, who is Jack Aitken. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush here, guys. Latifi is probably not Formula 1 quality. I think it's fair to say there's a shitload of memes about Latifi. We pretty much know at this stage he's a pay driver, and I don't want a pay driver. Let's be real. We've got the worst car. We need to have we need good drivers to try and get the best out of a bad car, and I can't have a bad car and a bad driver who doesn't deserve to be there. So Latifi is not in my long-term plans. However, I am going to give him a chance. We're going to give him, let's say, maybe the first half of the season to see what he can deliver. I'm not saying he has to score points or he's gone, but I want him to be competitive. I want him to be challenging Albon. If he can challenge Albon, if he can, put in similar results to Albon, then I will by all means give Nicholas Latifi a chance. I'll give him. He might even perform better than Albon, and he'll be the number one driver, and that is fair enough. But if he's not, if we get halfway through the season and he is consistently finishing behind Albon, he's consistently qualifying last, he's finishing last, he's crashing, etc., etc., then I will be looking to move Nicholas Latifi on, and whether that means replacing him with the reserve driver Jack Aitken or just bringing in somebody new altogether. Nico Hulkenberg's a free agent. He was the last driver to get a pole position for Williams, so who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we could look at bringing in him. But for now, our drivers are Latifi, Albon, and Aitken. That's what it is for now. By the end of the season, it could look different. But again, Albon could perform. And I'm not picking at Latifi here. Latifi could perform, Albon could be terrible, and we could get rid of Albon, But like I'm saying, I need the drivers to be performing and getting the best out of the car. Technical chief is Francis Xavier Demasian. Head of aerodynamics, David Wheater. Race engineer, James Irwin. And the other race engineer is Gaetan Diego. And last but not least, we've got the biography. Again, we know it. 2021 Constructors' Championship finishes 8th. That was partly due to Russell, mainly due to Russell. But you can see overall, the team's got 9 constructor wins and 7 driver championship wins. And we want to add to that. It's not going to happen straight away, but by the end of the series, I was hoping that those numbers would go up. So yeah, we're going to select Williams. We're going to continue. For name, we'll just go with Mr. Fog. Fog Gaming. It's the name of the game. So we're going to go with Mr. Fog, and that is going to be the names. In the first team guidance, we want disabled, because I pretty much know what I'm doing now in the game, so I don't really need to be babysat, through the menus and that woman telling you have to do this, you have to do that, menus prompting up, you have to do this, make sure you don't forget to do that. It's like, no, come on. I've experienced this game, we know what we're doing. Is it racing or ping pong? It's not ping pong, it's racing. It's definitely racing. So here we go then, we are in the main menu. You've got Nicholas Latifi, who is rated 73, and Alexander Albon, who is rated an 80. What we'll do is we will actually look at drivers in a minute, but let's just first check the inbox. So Audrey Mensah basically sent us a message saying, hello, welcome to Williams, blah, 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 blah. Right, let's then look at the circuits. We obviously know the lineup for the season. The calendars: Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, San Marino, Miami, Spanish Grand Prix, Monaco, Azerbaijan, Canada, British, and then I think last is Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it is. Honestly, I'm not a massive fan of Abu Dhabi. I'm not a massive fan of the new tracks in general. I prefer the older tracks where there was less runoff areas and there was more grass and gravel, and you actually got punished for running wide. That, to me, those were the best tracks. I'm not a big fan of the newly built tracks or whatever, but it is what it is. There's a lot of money in these countries that F1 go to now, and that's pretty much the main reason for it. So yeah, not surprised at all. Let's look at the drivers then. So we can scout drivers. So Jack Aitken, see, that tells me that Jack Aitken isn't really the man for the future, because I thought he was younger than that. He's already 26 years old, and he's only rated 66 as a driver. Alexander Albon's a year younger, and he's 80. So I mean, what's Latifi? Latifi's 26 as well. So that kind of tells me that Jack Aitken is probably not going to be one of our drivers in the future. That just tells me he's 26 and he's only a 66 rating. I don't think Jack Aitken, he could be a reserve driver, but I don't think he's ever going to grow good enough to be in car number 1 or car number 2. In terms of the remaining contract lengths, everybody's got 10 months on their contract, which is pretty perfect, because like I said, I don't know if we're going to be keeping any of these guys, but they could deliver. Albon could do great, Latifi could do great, and Aitken, if he gets any chances, could do great, and I could want to sign them all up to long-term deals. So at least we have that option available. But let's look at the drivers then. Let's scout drivers. We're going to scout drivers by overall rating, and we'll look. So obviously the top drivers are already in F1, and they've all got teams, so there's not a lot you can do about this. I mean, these guys are all Guang Su, Stroll. Giovinazzi is an F1, but he's currently a test driver. Got Shinoda. Giovinazzi is higher rated than Shinoda. Well, a bit surprised with that. You've got Nico Hulkenberg, who's 76 rated. He is 34, but I think Nico Hulkenberg could maybe come in and do a decent job. So I would maybe keep an eye on Nico Hulkenberg. Should we scout Hulkenberg? Scouting level, standard scouting, detailed scouting. He's currently, is he a reserve driver? Oh, I forgot, he's a reserve driver for Aston Martin. Maybe then we don't want to go after Nico Hulkenberg. I don't know if we'd have to pay money, but you know what? We'll scout him. Scouts available. 30 days if we scout Hulkenberg. Maybe we won't scout Hulkenberg because we already kind of know what the guy offers. So maybe we'll have a look at other people who can potentially scout. Nick de Vries. I am a fan of Nick de Vries. We've seen how he came in on his debut there in real life and pretty much done great. So you know what? I'm actually going to go and scout Nick de Vries. I think Nick de Vries and Albon would be a really good driver pairing. I've said this in real life, so we're going to see if Nick de Vries would have any interest in coming to us in the game, although he is 27, which is a little bit annoying. We've got Oscar Pistari, who's a reserve driver at Alpine. We've got Buemi, Jack Doohan, Stoffel van Dorn, Richard Verscher. Who we go? We're looking for anyone. Robert Kubica. Felipe Drugovich, the Brazilian. Do we maybe scout him? I'm looking at. I don't know how far we want to go down here. Marcus Armstrong, Oliver Bearman. I don't know how far we really want to go down this list. To be fair, let's see. Maybe we'll go for who can we scout? Let's just scout somebody. We will. Danny Rick's probably looking. No, he's not interested. Not that I want him anyway. The guy's shit, but I was just looking at the possibility to see if he would be interested in potentially coming to Williams. Got Guang Wang Su there. You know what? We're going to go ahead and scout. Drugovich. Yeah, we'll go ahead and scout this guy. So detailed. No, you know what? No, who I'm going to scout. I'm going to scout who I originally wanted. What a mess. We're going to scout Nico Hulkenberg to see if he would be good enough to come in and potentially do something. But then again, this is only scouting. Like I said, it doesn't really mean anything. We do have drivers. We've got Albon and Latifi at the moment. We're going to give them a chance to see what they can do in terms of staff. I'm not going to change any of this just yet. You know, we're going to give them an opportunity. We're going to get into the start of the season and we're going to see what they can do. In terms of board conference, again, we haven't done anything. This is all stuff that we will look at when we get further into the season. But right now, it's it's not really worth looking at. But let's have a look at the long-term objective, though. The target season is 2024, and in that season, they want to score points in 50% of the season's races. So if there's 22 races, they want to score points in 11 races, which I think is fair enough. That's reasonable. I would be disappointed if we get to 2024 and we're not doing that. That's in 3 seasons' time. So yeah, I would like to think by that stage we will be easily hitting that target, to be honest, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let's look at the car then. Let's see if we can maybe start building the car straight away. So what do we want to improve on? Aerodynamics, powertrain. Let's see here. I don't think we're going to get anything for Bahrain. Let's look at the aerodynamics. You know what? Maybe we'll try and improve the chassis. Improves top speed and acceleration. I think we're going to try and do that. I think we're going to. We're going to front wing. Fuck it. We're going to do the front wing. So design. Design, focus. Balanced. We'll just go balanced. And then that should do us. Engineers available. Engineers, do 3 engineers. Approach. Don't want to do rushed. Normal. Or what if we do rushed? If we do rushed, we get it by the 4th of April. No, we're just going to do normal. Don't want to fuck it up. So they go 3 drivers down the front wing. Well, I'm just not sure though. Does that get you 2 front wings, or is it only 1 front wing? Oh, it's car 1 performance, right? Okay. How do we switch cars? That's what I need to try and figure out. Alright, just go into. We're going to do the front wing again then. There's no point changing it. We'll just work on the front wing for. Okay, so wait. Okay, so you can't do 2 front wings at the same time. I guess we'll focus on the rear wing then, and we'll just do the exact same thing that we done with the front wing. So let's just do this. Balanced. Continue. Development. 3 engineers, and we'll just do it on normal. So boom. Let's confirm that. So we're working on front wings, we're working on rear wings, and yeah, it's going to take us. It's going to take us a while. I mean, we're not going to have them probably till like the third or fourth race of the season, but when we do get them, here's hoping that it improves the performance of the car and it makes us a bit more competitive. That's all we can really hope for. Car analyst, can we look at the car here in terms of, so hold on, change grid average. So at the moment, what are we? Let's compare ourselves to Aston Martin, because we've got the worst car, they've got the second worst, I believe. So top speed, Aston Martin have got the advantage over us. Low speed, they have the advantage. We have the advantage in medium and high speed. DRS, top speed, they have the advantage. We have the advantage in acceleration. Dirty air cornering, they've got the low speed advantage. We've got medium and high speed advantage. And brake cooling and engine cooling, they have the advantage. So you can see that the Aston Martin car is better than ours, but at the same time, I don't think it's that much better. You know, I do believe we're close. So going into the opening race of the season, I want to be challenging Aston Martin. I want to be trying to beat Aston Martin. And I do think that we have the car to do that. So here we go. First of all, we've got an email from Maria Stilpath, personal officer. Good morning, mister. We've had an idea for a season kickoff party to bring everyone together to celebrate the team. We'll need a budget approval if we want to go ahead with it. What do you think? Yours sincerely, Maria. So if we approve the request, it's going to cost us 10 grand, but it will improve driver morale and improve staff morale. Yeah, we can afford 10 grand. I mean, come on. If we can't afford 10 grand, what are we doing in F1? You know, we should be in F3 or something, or F10. So yeah, we have approved that party. Hopefully everybody was happy. Hopefully the drivers didn't get too drunk though, because we will need them when we get to Bahrain. So yeah, hopefully they turn up sober and ready to race. So yeah, that's it, guys. We're getting ready then to go in to the first race of the season. That is going to be in the next episode, so make sure you tune into that, and I will catch you in then. So if you enjoyed this intro, guys, if you enjoyed this part one, basically just the introduction to the series, got everything ready, got the drivers ready, got the car ready, looked at all the statistics, all the objectives, and we are ready to race when we get to Bahrain next time out. So that's it. If I can give a quick predictions, what am I going to say? I'm going to say we'll probably get both cars knocked out in Q1, but I'm going to try and aim and beat at least one of the Aston Martins. That's going to be the aim, to get past one of the Aston Martins, if not both. And who knows, if we get loads of retirements, we'll see how far we can get up the race order. Anyway, guys, that's it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.